29 seconds or less. Okay. So, warming up in the bullpen, in the green room, as they say, is our special guest today. Her name is Ty Young, and Ty comes to us by way of Orlando and the Ty Media Group. Now, before I bring Ty on, because once I bring Ty on, she's going to captivate you, and I'm not going to be able to get a word in edgewise. So let me just say, when I met her over the phone, golly, it might almost be a year now, Ty. I don't know. But again, I can't bring her in quite yet because she's going to talk and she's going to captivate you. But right now, I want to do that. But I was so impressed with this young woman, and so impressed when she told me that she had authored a number of books, both for herself and for her clients, and just seemed like the kind of person that is our kind of people, kind of quality people that works hard and understands what it's like to collaborate and help raise everybody's boats. And that's why I wanted to bring her on to you. So with no further ado, let me bring Miss Ty Young into the shot. There she is. Hey, Ty, welcome.
Hey guys! Oh my, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me, Tom.
Well, you're very welcome. We've talked about this, and actually, Ty's been on the schedule a couple of times, and I had to knock her off and say, "Oh, Ty, I'm not." What it was is I wasn't ready to do her justice. That's what it was, and so I'm so delighted that you would take time with us today, and be here. Tell us. I've got a number of key questions that I got to get Ty rolling on. But first, tell us about the Ty Media Group. What's the Ty Media Group?
Yeah, so Ty Media Group, basically, we do business consulting, small business development with all things media. Okay, book publishing, IPTV channel development. We do application development, iOS, Android as well, Samsung, LG, all the different tools that small business owners can actually use to increase their visibility, increase their credibility, increase their platforms, to actually increase their profitability. That's why we're all things media. So we're Ty Media Group, where you can use those tools to actually take you to the next level.
Awesome. I love it. And she's obviously practiced that because she got it right there and she got all the necessary stuff. But Ty, tell us a little bit about your background. Tell us about you. Where did you come from?
Sure. So I was born and raised in Los Angeles, California, currently living between Orlando and Miami, Florida. I ended up on my own raising myself at 14 years old in Los Angeles. And I had a little brother who happened to be 1 year old. And I actually raised my brother from 1 year old until he was 17. So I was a parent at 14 years old. Okay. So the amazing thing is I ended up meeting a friend who introduced me to the pager and cellular phone business, okay, where I started buying phone numbers wholesale and reselling those phone numbers to people in Los Angeles at 16 years old. So by the time I was 19, I was making about $20,000 a month. Yes,
Wow.
from being homeless at 14. From being homeless at 14, yes, having to raise my younger brother. Yes.
Your brother's
So,
fortunate to have an advocate like you fighting for him. Holy cow.
oh wow, I didn't have a choice. You got to do what you got to do. So, but in Los Angeles, I networked with a lot of people in the TV business, music business, and I was highly interested in the music business more so than television. And I met someone who was interested in the pager and cellular phone business. This was in 1988. Okay.
Okay.
And so they lived in Washington D.C., that person. So they asked me would I open a store like the one I had in Los Angeles in Washington D.C. So did that, met them, and it was good for me because I wanted to move to New York City to start building my music consulting firm, because I started really tapping into distribution. Actually, the wholesaling of phone numbers is what got me interested in distribution. It was something about volume and numbers. So I wanted to learn more about music distribution, DVD distribution, video game distribution. So that when I moved to DC, I only stayed there for a year and a half, left him with the store, and then moved to New York. And that's when my distribution uh, industry careers really got started.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So that brings us close to today with the Thai
Yes.
Media Group, and you
Yes.
have taken that interest and you have spun it all around as a business consultant and an
Yes.
author and a ghost author.
Yes, yes, definitely. Yeah. So the book business, actually, how I ended up in the publishing business, again, books, music, movies, they all need distribution, right? That's so I actually published a record label directory, which was like a yellow pages of the urban music industry. And I published that for about 12 years. I started that in New York and I stayed in New York for about 3 years or so. And I then moved to Atlanta because I started getting a lot of referrals in Atlanta for the music business consulting and so forth. And so this was by this time it was 1995. So
Okay.
when I got to Atlanta, networked and so forth, and over 7 years, the business started to change. Distribution was getting scary, right? This is where we are today. So I said, wow, I need to learn technology. Distribution is going to be online. This is getting scary. I will go bankrupt if I don't learn this industry. Because at that time, I was distributing video games, all kinds of movies, and all kinds of products, helping independent artists get them into music stores. You
Right.
know where the music stores are, right? They're
No.
gone.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the music stores, but my connections, I had a lot of connections with all the wholesalers, the one stops, the rack jobbers. Those were all of my people, but they were going out of business because of online, right? Technology, iTunes, Apple was beginning to launch iTunes and CD Baby, all that stuff was coming in. So I started learning to code because I knew I needed to learn to code, and that's how I started building IPTV channels. I'm an Apple developer. Actually, I develop for iOS. I use Xcode. I use Android Studio. I use Eclipse. So basically, my fear pushed me into all of that technology. And I think in 2010, no, 2009, I built my first Roku app on the Roku XD Roku box in 2009. Yes, so I currently build Roku channels for a lot of my clients as well. And that's the story in a nutshell.
That is amazing. That is amazing. When you wait, when you go
Yeah.
to bed, when you go to bed at night, don't you just go to bed with a smile and say, I am working hard and I'm doing well and I'm
Yeah,
blessed.
well, the funny thing, if I hadn't met so many talented people along the way, honestly, I have a high school diploma. I went to college for 1 year, and my average client has an MBA or PhD, and they all know my story. But in order for me to do what I do, I need talented people to publish books for, to build web platforms for, to build applications for. So without their talent, I have nothing to offer.
Well, you have a lot to offer because you've taken these people and you're helping them get to where they want to be. I mean, that is kind of the key, isn't it? To find out what your
Yes,
client wants and to help them get where they want to be. You become indispensable.
definitely. I
Yeah.
think my TV background, I started to work with public access television stations who were looking for additional revenue streams because of their funding being cut. So Atlanta, Tampa, Clearwater, I started working with a lot of public access stations, learning more about television production, learning more about lighting and all of those tools that were needed. So again, small business owners were going to need to adapt these tools to put them out there to save money, to get more visibility, and diversify their revenue streams. So from working with radio stations, I actually ran 7 radio stations, helping those radio stations develop online platforms as well. So I mean, I work in all aspects of technology, and again, it's all distribution. You guys call it live streaming, I call
Yeah.
it distribution.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's really about distribution at the end of the day.
Well,
That's really the currency.
and the words that we understand, well, the acronym we understand is CDN, and that
Yes,
is
content
that's
delivery.
yes, content delivery network. That's YouTube, that's
Very
Facebook,
true.
that's everything that's delivering our content. And so, yeah,
Yes.
our worlds definitely intersect very strongly there. Definitely. Now, but you have a special knowledge of the TV industry from your
Hmm.
experience there, and you've taken that special knowledge and you've put that into print with your latest book.
Yes.
Tell us about your latest book, please.
Yeah, so basically the book is about OTT and IPTV, how it has taken over the television industry, television and film industry. There are so many independent filmmakers and television producers who are currently looking for CTOs, chief technology officers, to help them with the IPTV and OTT platform development. And I've been blessed to pick up 2 recent clients to be their CTO. One of the clients they produce on Oprah Winfrey shows in Atlanta. Another client produces a lot of shows in LA. So this book is giving insight to those who are tapping into the film and television industry at this point in time where technology has basically taken over. And I realized this after speaking on a panel at a film industry panel in Miami, where these guys were confused about which way to go because major film studios were not taking new projects unless they were web series or unless they could stream them online through IPTV or OTT. So this book, I'm excited to launch it, and I really want to give it away for free because it's something that it's a product that's the knowledge is so needed today for producers and for content developers understanding IPTV as well as OTT.
I, I've been amazed in the last probably 10 days because this is not a word I use at all, but the number of people that have talked to me about IPTV, and
Yes.
they have an understanding, and their understanding is IPTV, and they don't. In some ways, they get it all, and in other ways, they
Mhm.
don't understand that it's IPTV is it's more to it than just that acronym. But
Sure.
I talked to this morning to
Yeah.
somebody who wants to. He's working with a college in
Hmm.
Mississippi, and he wants to help them develop an IPTV network. And
Okay.
go for it, dude. And at the same time, don't get stuck just thinking IPTV because there's so much more to distribute than just in that one little category. It just
Yeah,
anyway.
so basically IPTV, when you look at it as a whole, it's internet protocol television. So
Right,
basically it's any content that's distributed over an internet protocol.
right,
That's basically IPTV.
right.
YouTube is really IPTV.
Absolutely.
Anything, all of it is internet protocol television, right? So we're now our cell phones are televisions. You know, we have to look
Yes.
at television differently today. Actually, I was at a conference not too long ago in Miami, another conference where all the major television company stations, I'm not networks, were there, like gosh, it was just anyone you can think of, they were there. And basically, the whole conference was all about IPTV and OTT. I even talked to the president of Viacom, and he spoke. We actually had a dialogue in a seminar where there were like 400 people. He was so shocked that I knew so much about it. He's like, hey, I'm the president of Viacom and I'm still learning about IPTV. It was so amazing. The CEO, well, the head of acquisitions for YouTube, I can't remember her name, she was there. She spoke. All the top people in the industry were at this conference. And it was amazing how the overall the conference was pretty much about OTT and IPTV.
All right, so
Yes.
tell us specifically about your book. I mean,
Yeah, so
tell us
so
why we want to run out to our Barnes and Noble tomorrow and buy this book.
it's not out yet. It's coming soon.
Oh, it's not out
It's
yet.
coming
Okay.
soon. But you can email me for to pre-order it. Yeah,
Okay.
you can email me to pre-order the book if you'd like as well. And if you're nice, I'll give you a free copy. Yes.
Wow.
So definitely,
Autographed?
yes.
Autographed?
Autographed free copy.
Oh my
Yes, free
goodness. Oh,
copy.
I got to be nice
It's
now.
I truly believe that this book is about planting seeds. It's a seed that I'm going to plant in the hands of individuals who are content developers, such as a lot of your fans or your viewers, Tom. They are looking to develop some major things, but they're not really familiar with the industry and the background of the industry and why it was developed. We focus on live streaming, but overall it's distribution, it's content delivery, right? And content delivery is distribution. So it's so important that you learn this, learn more about this area because it can enhance your opportunity to bring in more revenue, the more information and the more knowledge you have about the industry.
All right. So let's get into it, you and I. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I'm ready. I have my dukes up.
Okay, good, good. So I have developed my website, easternshorebroadcasting.com. Just a little
Yes.
plug for my website there. And that's where people go to watch my show. Now I use YouTube because if you're watching right now, you're probably watching on YouTube or Facebook. And by the way, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook directly, come on over to easternshorebroadcasting.com, and that way you can get in on the chat. But and if you're just joining us, we have Ty Young here from Ty Media Group, who is just astounding, and you got to go back and watch the whole show to hear the beginning of it. But
Thank you.
but Ty, I've got my own distribution network. Why am I interested in something beyond the distribution network that I've already set up?
Yeah, so basically, I would call it syndication. If
Okay.
you're interested in syndicating your product, then you would go over to additional platforms.
And
If you're not oh, I'm sorry, go
no,
ahead.
no, just I tend to interrupt. Please forgive me in
That's
advance.
okay. No, I don't mind. I don't mind. Go ahead.
So by syndication, you're talking about not my live show, but the recorded versions of my show, right?
Well, actually, you can syndicate live over multiple platforms, right? So it's basically syndication live over multiple platforms because there are people who are more comfortable with certain platforms, and that's why they prefer to watch it there.
Right.
Right. I think Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg announced in 2003, there was an article where he said he's going to become a distribution company. I have the article actually, it's from 2003, and that's where Facebook is becoming because they know people love video, but people want to watch it where they're comfortable, right?
Right.
So they're going to watch it on Facebook. They're going to watch Streaming Idiots on YouTube. They're going to watch it on your own network. So I would see it as syndication as opposed to why would I go here or why would I go there? But for you, I totally understand why, because your network is also where you offer products. So it's important that you have people on your network. But another opportunity is to stream or syndicated streaming live on other platforms, but also show your products and show the links to your products so that people can actually, after watching it on another platform, they could come to your platform to buy products. So it's really great to be open with your content, because people have their comfort levels and what they're comfortable with, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. And you know, you would think, okay, I'm kind of a technology company, but most of the people, well, I would say at least half of the people that call me are not tech people. They have a
Wow.
passion, and they want to bring
Hmm.
their passion to somebody beyond themselves, and they don't know how to do it, and that's why they call me. So maybe I just need to get out of my tech bubble and become something different.
Well,
Huh.
I would say continue to be a tech guy, because what's happening, Tom, every single individual we're all going to have to become tech people, because tech is going to run our lives,
Right.
bottom line. So they need to cross over and get a better understanding of technology. That's pretty, I don't mean to be so direct,
I
you
just love that.
know.
I've never heard
I don't
crossover
mean to
used
be
quite like
so,
that. Yeah, that's right.
well, oh, you're funny. You're too cute. Yeah. So, but yeah, they have to begin to cross over into the technology world so that they're more familiar with the tools. Their televisions are going to be technology completely, complete everything. Cables going away. Period. We're going to use technology to get all of our products, bottom line. But one other thing, I'll say this about web TV. Web applications are not going anywhere. Google, there's totally pushing web applications. So your website being a distribution outlet, continue to have that, because it's very important. Why? Because apps are going to change. Cell phones are going to change. Think about cell phones 10 years ago, where cell phones are today. So the applications are going to change. But one thing that is not changing are web platforms. They're just going to get better, but they're going to be HTML5 based and pretty much web based. They're going to go over all platforms or across all platforms.
Okay.
So your website is definitely important to have your distribution from your website.
Okay. All right. So let me back you into a corner here.
Of
Ready?
course.
Here we go. Um,
I'm ready.
Knowing what you know about me, and knowing what you know about what
Yes.
I'm doing, and
Uh-oh.
knowing what you know,
Hmm.
how should I move next in using distribution as part of the process?
Well, I would definitely consider starting a Roku channel, because
Really?
Roku is, oh, absolutely. Roku now, of course, they have their own televisions that are selling like crazy out of Best Buy. But
Right.
not only that, around the world, people are buying and using these IPTV set top boxes. So having your own Roku channel would be awesome.
I'm,
Also
I'm, I'm
having,
making notes here. Yeah.
you're making notes. Very good. You're such a good boy. No, just kidding. So no, just kidding. So yes, I would say definitely a Roku channel. Definitely an Android app with the Streaming Idiots Android app for television, and Android TV app, also an iOS TV app, because these are going to, this, it's basically syndicating your show, but these are tools that are going to be here for a long time, but definitely will give you more visibility, especially from the cell phones, from the smartphones as well.
And where might I go to get someone to build me a Roku channel or an Android TV app or an iOS TV app, Ty?
Well, Tom, how about this? I will build your Roku TV channel for free.
Ah. So, but if if I wasn't me, if I was somebody else and I was just watching and I wanted to find somebody that could develop this stuff for me, would I call you?
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, you could call me definitely. And that the website I gave you earlier, IPTVbusiness.com,
Mm-hmm.
IPTVbusiness.com, that platform basically is a referral network where I refer people out to IPTV developers. But I would say LinkedIn has a ton of IPTV or Roku channel developers. You can also contact Roku at their website, roku.com. They also have a resource center and a forum where you could actually reach out to Roku developers as well.
Okay.
Roku is probably the number one uh, IPTV box or set top box at the moment. They're beating Apple, they're beating Amazon Fire. They're pretty much number one. In addition to that, they have the televisions that are selling like crazy in Best Buy and all of the other stores as well. So I would say Roku is definitely probably the next step for you, Tom.
Okay, so one of the guys in the chat room is saying, and he's from England, is saying, Roku, I've heard of that,
Yeah.
but it's not something that's been on his radar. Is it
Okay.
something that's in the U.S. only? Do you know, Roku?
You know what? I'm not sure if it's in the US only, but you could go to their website, roku.com, ROKU.com, where you
Okay.
could get all of the information and the details. I'm pretty sure I don't think it's only in the US because it's
Okay.
IPTV. Well, no, it's
Sure.
not, because as a matter of fact, my guys, I have a team of guys in New Delhi who help build apps for me as well. And they build my Roku. Well, they don't build all. I build most of them. But when I'm overwhelmed or too busy, these guys are really great with
Okay.
Roku development. So obviously, it's in India because they use it
Right.
to test apps for me and so forth. Yes.
And Chris is saying in New Zealand that he hadn't seen it there either. So maybe it's gradually making its way from
Okay.
the more populous countries. Yeah. Okay. Well,
Gotcha.
Chris
I
will have to
definitely
send
say
you one.
go to their website.
Okay.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
Guillaume
definitely
is
say go
saying
to their
in
website.
France that it's not available everywhere, not so much in Europe. Okay.
Okay.
Um,
Gotcha.
so that's
Okay.
interesting. That's a great opportunity for Roku. If it's not in Europe,
Well,
it
maybe
could be in Europe. Maybe it's under a different
maybe
name.
because in the Maybe because in the U.S. we're more couch potatoes than other countries. So
Yeah,
they're
that's
getting
right.
all the couch potatoes signed up right now, So they'll
Well,
move over to the more active countries sooner than later, I'm sure.
and there is a cord cutting going on. That's for sure. Yep.
Very
Okay.
true.
Wow.
Very true.
Ty, I don't want to abuse your time. You have been so great to
Sure.
spend time with us, and I'm hoping
Oh,
we're
yeah.
going to close out the regular show, but then we'll be in the post show. So maybe you can hang around the post show because I think some of the guys and the gals in the chat room might have a few questions for you. Would that be all right?
Totally. Sure.
Okay.
Thank you
Oh,
for having me.
You were so sweet.
It's really
You were
great.
so sweet.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you can come back on again in the future once the book is out and you're working on your next book, because this is like book number 5 for you, right?
It was like 5 or 6, yeah.
5 or 6, and then you've
Yeah.
ghost written on behalf of your clients like 6 or 7 dozen books.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Wow.
Definitely.
Wow.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
awesome. That's awesome. So if you're
Yes.
interested in having somebody ghost write a book for you about your business, Ty might be somebody you want to talk to. TyMediaGroup.com. Ty,
Thank
super.
you.
Thank you
Yes.
so much. All right, we're gonna
You're
we're gonna
welcome.
put
Thanks,
we're gonna put
guys.
Ty back in the green room, as it were, and
Okay.
and then we're going to close out the show here. And if you're watching live, hang on because we're gonna pepper Ty with some more questions. But thank you so much for watching today. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being such a great audience. If you missed the first part of this, come on back. I mean, just rewind YouTube and it'll rewind. It'll be on our website later today, and I think it's on Facebook. If you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, join our Facebook group, Streaming Idiots. It'll be a lot of fun. You'll learn a lot about streaming. We've got folks that are really, really good there, and then we've got newbies too, so you'll fit right in no matter where you're coming from. And by all means, join our subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you've watched the show this far, you may as well subscribe. You're hooked. And then of course come on over to easternshorebroadcasting.com where you can get all sorts of great streaming products and great advice too. Actually, I do coaching, so I'd be happy to help coach you through getting started or help you work through a tight spot if you're having one. On behalf of me and Ty and all the other streaming idiots, thanks for tuning in today, and we will see you again next week on what's the name of the show? Oh yeah, Streaming Idiots. Y'all take care. Another good show. Wow, who would have thought?